Oh,
Hello, everybody, and happy Monday in August. My name is Harlequin Murray, and I am your co-host this evening, and looking forward to getting to know all of you who are joining us for the first time tonight. Welcome. We're glad that you're here to join us, and we look forward to getting to know you. But I have the distinct honor and privilege of introducing our team leader, our senior team leader, Miss Ellen Winn. And for those of you who are new tonight and haven't gotten a chance to find out about who she is and a little bit of her background, I'm just going to kind of go over a little bit of that for you. She is originally from Dallas, Georgia, which is just outside of Atlanta. She grew up on a big, huge family farm, and she still lives on that property, although she moved away for a while and she's back on that property. But anyways, in between time, she worked in the restaurant industry, worked in several different bars and restaurants, worked her way up to a district director and a training manager for Domino's Pizza. And then she took off on her own and decided, you know what, I can do this better. And she became her own business owner. And she started a couple of different pizza restaurants, was highly successful in that. And then somebody introduced her to network marketing, and she has been doing that ever since. She still owns some other businesses, but her primary focus is David Allen Capital. But yeah, when I first met her, she was in a network marketing company, and she was actually the national training director for them. And so she's got a really, really strong presence in training, and we're lucky to have her as our trainer. But anyways, without further ado, I'm going to have you go ahead and take it away, Miss Ellen, if you're ready for us.
I need about 1.5 minutes. I've got to text a limo client real quick.
Oh, no. Okay. So as you can tell, Ellen, she owns a limousine company. She has multiple clients, multiple drivers that work with her. And most of them are high-level clients. So whenever somebody texts her and says, hey, I need somebody to pick me up, she's got to go take care of it. So that person can get a ride home if they happen to be at the airport or whatever. But anyways, like I was saying, I've known Ellen for many, many years. It's been almost, I think, 18 years now. And she is a phenomenal person. We are so lucky to have her. She's actually an area director in the DAC compensation plan, and she's the first person out in the field to reach that level. So she knows what she's talking about. She's gotten there herself, and she can teach us how to do it. It's just doing those little steps along the way that will help you get there. But anyways, I know, let's see. Oops, we got more people coming in. Yeah, one of the things that we had mentioned last week, since Ellen's not available quite yet, we had talked about Eric Worre and his one-day recruiting training. I do have that website. It's mygoprochallenge.com. It's going to be on Saturday, the 26th. It's a 3 or 4 hour training. I believe it's from noon to 3 p.m. Eastern. And it's $7 for the entire time. And if you can, get a group of people on your team to get together and watch it together. Yeah, that makes it a whole lot better whenever you get a chance to do it with somebody else and kind of go over different things with it and give each other ideas on how you can do things. But again, that's mygoprochallenge.com. I'll put it into the chat as well. So, and it looks like Miss Ellen is finished with her text message.
I am. Thank you, Harlequin. I appreciate that last minute rescue. Yeah, so it's my limo business, as Harlequin said, and tonight Beyonce is in concert here in Atlanta. So downtown Atlanta is a hot mess with traffic, and I had my number one client flying in. The driver that was lined up to go pick him up and get him home safely got caught up in the Beyonce traffic. So kind of last minute scramble to get somebody else to cover and get him home. But thank you, Harlequin. I appreciate that introduction, as I always do. I appreciate your contribution to the team. We got some good announcements tonight, good promotions going on, a new DAC 4. We'll get to that in just a couple of minutes, but I'll be respectful of everyone's time and go ahead and get us into screen share mode so I can get us into what I wanted to cover. I always take questions and answers do Q&A at the end of our presentation. So if you see something that you're just not sure about, jot it down, and then we'll be able to go through and get your questions answered when we finish up. Okay, so let's get us into screen share. Seeing that slide okay, Harlequin? Looking good? All right, awesome. Thank you. All right, so DAC, fueling the American dream by providing world-class opportunity with a performance-based compensation plan. And performance is the key here if you want to make money with DAC. You can build your own DAC agency as a solopreneur, and you can make significant income by going and getting clients on your own between personal bonuses and personal client residuals. But if you really want to make some massive income, you can earn more by building a team. There are enroller bonuses. If you enroll someone into this opportunity, you can earn up to 50% income match on what they earn as their enroller. There's also leadership bonus overrides where you can earn up to 50% on leadership through your extended team organization on bonuses. Excuse me. And then you can qualify for permanent ownership coded groups once you hit area director and above. And then we have our residual commissions, which we just started getting paid those here this past week. We've been on new IT back office for the past 8 months, and took a while to build that out, but we've started getting paid on those, and we're caught up 100% on the residual commission. So not only do you earn residuals on your personal customers, but you can also earn on 7 compressed levels. What does compression mean? That means if there are 15 levels in your team, you could possibly get paid on all 15, because there may be people in between that aren't qualified by having at least 50 qualifying residual revenue points. So that's what compression is. And then you earn up to 30% match there. Plus we have our 7-level bump up where you can earn an extra 25% if you hit 1,000 personal residual revenue within your first 12 months in the business. So all in all, team building multiplies your income potential to where it's like you're out here producing by yourself. But what if you had 10 of you that were producing? Then you've multiplied 10x, right? Well, what if you had 100 people that were producing like you're producing? Then you would have 100 times, and so on and so on, where literally you can earn thousands more, multiply thousands of times more than you can as an individual if you're doing team building and moving up the ranks and paying attention to the compensation plan. So the team building multiplies, and then the residuals are going to pay you month after month. Residual income, when I first learned of that, where that's getting a customer one time or selling a service one time, something that bills every single month, like our healthcare or our DAC Protect, or the residual compensation through our payment processing, right? Anything where there's ongoing expenditure by the consumer or ongoing revenue because of the payment processing, then that's what creates residual income, where you get that customer one time and you get paid over and over and over again for the life of that customer. All right, so as we talk about recruiting, I want to get into this week's top recruiters for the week of 8/7 through 8/13. First place, we had Ashield Hodge. Congratulations, Ashield, for I paused screen share, for hitting first place there with 4 new recruits, tied with Brett Morin with 4 new agents. So congratulations, Ashield and Brett, to both of you. In second place, we had Ronnie McKellar with 3 new agent recruits. And in third place, we had a 5-way tie with AIO Consulting, Ben Randalls, myself, ESAH Solutions, and Kayla New LLC. Each of us had 2 new agent recruits for the week. To be named on the leaderboard, you had to have 2 or more agent recruits to be listed by name. But all in all, we had 43 agents this past week who had at least 1 new recruit. So our recruiting numbers are going up. For those of you that had 1 recruit, congratulations to you as well. For those of you who didn't quite have a recruit, but you had conversations about the opportunity and you invited people to take a look at it, congratulations to you too for taking that step and crossing the start line in building a team. Okay. All right. So next thing I want to do is go through bonus plan rank advancements. When I do this recognition, I kind of take you through a quick overview of how that compensation plan works. One, because there are so many of you that haven't really been a part of our Zooms. This may be your first time here, or so many of you that watch the compensation plan training and you're going, oh my God, I'm totally lost. There's so many ways that we get paid. I understand it can be overwhelming, but we're going to break it down to where it's just really 3 simple things that we do. And we're going to talk about that tonight to help you understand moving through the comp plan really isn't that difficult if you just continue bringing customers to the table. So the bonus plan rank advancement, this is on programs or services or funding programs that offer a one-time bonus. And this is page 5 out of the compensation plan. That's your bonus plan sheet there. Okay. The first 3 ranks in the bonus compensation plan, DAC 1, 2, and 4, are ranks that are achieved by you personally acquiring new bonus clients. You do this on your own. You can have a team, but you don't need a team, and having a team doesn't help you get promoted to DAC 1, DAC 2, or DAC 4. You do it all by yourself. But moving through these ranks, you can see it's on business funding, ERCs, and other services with upfront bonus payouts. Relevate is one of those, and we may have some other services coming on board real soon with that. Okay. Page 13 shows the schedule of which of those services are bonus qualifying clients, as well as how you get paid on those, the frequency of how you get paid, etc. Basically, on bonuses, we get paid as agents the day after DAC gets paid. Okay. So there's a lot of money in those bonus clients, but moving through these levels on your own positions you to earn overrides if you're building a team. So tonight we want to recognize Yvonne Gamble for hitting DAC 1. Yvonne had a $13,500 funding. That was one funding counted as a qualified client. Now Yvonne is qualified to earn a 10% override on anybody in her team that has a funding or a bonus client, and they get that upfront bonus money. She'll get a 10% match on their income, as long as there's not another DAC 1 between Yvonne and whoever gets the funding. Also, if it is a personally enrolled agent that gets that funding, then Yvonne would also get the enroller match of 10, 25, or 50% match, plus the extra 10%. So this is on top of the enroller bonuses that get paid out. But our big congratulations tonight goes to our new DAC 4, Arissa John. Arissa has brought a lot of funding clients on board. A lot of them have been some renewals, some have been giggle clients, and so on. But I was counting up today, and I think she's had like 15 different fundings over time. But to get to DAC 4, you have to have 4 qualifying clients, which is 4 that were at least 600 in residual revenue value, and they had to be 4 new clients that counted, right? Plus a total residual revenue value of 4,000, which is 40,000 or more in funded dollars to the client. So at this time, I think Harlequin has asked Arissa to come on. She is on Harlequin's team, and these guys chatted earlier. So if you are on, we'd like for you to unmute yourself there, Arissa, and tell us a little bit about how you got to DAC 4. Whatever you want to share with us about DAC.
Yeah, she is on. Okay, her camera's coming on. Here she comes. Yeah,
Here we go.
Arissa, I am so excited and happy for you. Ellen, can you take your share off for a second?
Yeah. Thank you for reminding me of that. The real thing is better than just a photo, right?
Yeah.
There we go.
And she's got her
Awesome.
camera on for us. So we appreciate that. Get to see her smiling face. But Arissa is a super leader on my team. I'm so excited and proud of her to hit DAC 4. She has worked for this, and she's also building a strong team. So without further ado, Arissa, if you can tell us, well, one, about the current client that you just got, you know, what type of industry they're in, what they're going to use the money for, how you met them, and then just real briefly, not more than a minute or so, any words of wisdom you want to share with us.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Ellen and Harlequin. I just want to give it back to you guys. Thank you for being servant leaders and just paving the way, you know, showing us how to go out there and dominate and help so many people in different industries. Now, my current client that actually was funded this past week, she's actually a salon owner. She owns multiple businesses, but the business that she got funded for, she's actually a salon owner, and she's actually planning to use the funds to expand her business. Now, I do know her personally, but we haven't spoken in like so many years, like literally probably over 15 years. She actually saw me promoting funding on social media. That's where I promote the business 99% of the time. That's where I've gotten all of my actual funding clients. I build 99.99% from social media. What I've noticed is every time I make a funding post on social media, I get over about 200 comments on these posts. I go through the numbers, of course. There's some people that just don't meet the criteria either because of their revenue or their credit score. There's some of them that meet the criteria, but it's in their personal account. So that's why I have, you know, a lot of giggle fundings. And of course, there's that actual one that always actually checks off all the lists and meets the funding to get a bank breezy funding. So I just really just go through the numbers every time. You know, every time I make a post, I speak to about 200 people at a time, you know, and just go through the numbers. And I just leverage social media a lot.
Excellent. Well, your numbers are definitely showing off, and we can tell that you're getting a lot of traction on that for the number. Like I said, I counted today, and it looks like you've had about 15 different fundings. Some of those have probably been renewals from some of the giggle fundings and so on, but congratulations for your success. Before we go back, Harlequin, did you want to ask anything else of her to share?
No, unless, not that nothing's or I can't talk tonight, but nothing specific. That's the word I was looking for.
Yeah. Well, I'll say
people,
this.
you can do this without being able to talk, you know? So, you know, if you get tongue-tied, it's okay. People will forgive you. At least I hope they will.
Well, I'll say this, Arissa, you're definitely the exception to the rule. David was talking today about how to move through the ranks, which we're going to talk about tonight, and getting that core rank qualified. And he said, look, if you're just wanting to make a post and get clients, this business probably isn't for you. So again, I say you are the exception to the rule, because you're not just making posts, you're working it, right? You're not just putting a post up there and hoping that somebody sees it. You're going back through and working and commenting and following up on comments and all of that. So you're doing social media the right way. And again, kudos to you. Thank you for sharing your success with us tonight. We're excited to have you as part of our organization, because it's folks like you that really help bring that dream alive, not just for DAC helping grow the company, but because of your success, you're showing others that it can be done and helping them build their belief in their ability to do the same thing. So thank you again. Appreciate you so much, and congratulations.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, you bet. Awesome. Well, let's get us back into screen share and go back through. That's such a great picture. I need to do that too. Get a professional photo made. That is an awesome photo there. All right, so be here to win. Get yourself qualified to earn maximum pay. So a couple of weeks ago, we talked about the residuals and how you want to hit that 1,000 minimum in 12 months, and then 15,000 or 1,500 and 2,000 to max the residual compensation plan, so that you're earning that bump up bonus and you're earning the higher residuals on your enroller match and the 7-level residual bump up on your personal income, as well as excuse me, as well as your 7-level team, right? So we talked about that, but tonight I want to touch on the other residual chart, okay? The residual chart that shows the different levels, and instead of focusing on the getting the higher levels, personal residual revenue levels that are going to pay you more on personal customers and the extra money on your 7 levels, I want to talk tonight about the 200 minimum that David talked about today, okay? So let's talk about how you get paid on your entire team as you're working towards getting more personal customers and getting to that higher personal residual revenue, because it's like layers. Every client that you bring on board, you're stacking clients, so to speak, because everyone that you bring on board, if it's a funding customer, yes, you get paid a bonus, but it puts money into the residual revenue plan for that month, or maybe the next month, or maybe a few months later, if it's a larger funding, because 200 is the max residual revenue that gets put in on any one customer in any 1 month on funding bonuses, right? But as you're moving towards those higher ranks, getting to 200 is really where the gravy starts for you to be able to get paid on your team. But specifically, our core rank is team trainer. And David covered that today on our leadership call. And I wanted to just give you guys the visual of this. I know he drew out circles on the whiteboard, and I love it when he goes to the whiteboard. I want to show you on the compensation plan document itself, so that you have the page so that you can go in and study and go, okay, I've got this. This is exactly what I need. If I'm going through slides here and you see something that you want to save, take a screenshot of it. Either on a computer, you can hit a Windows and print screen. On your phone, do the print screen there. And I have no idea how to do it on a Mac because I'm not a Mac person. But David referred to it as the brick, the core brick, or the brick that builds out our entire foundation, the brick rank, right? But I've learned it as the core rank as far as my terminology goes. So team trainer is where everybody wants to shoot for, because that's really the foundation of our whole entire compensation plan. So let's talk about getting to team trainer, and then we're going to talk about how to get there and having some conversations with people, right? So you personally, if you don't already have a pen and paper out, I want you to write this down. Your first goal as a minimum is to get to 100 in personal residual revenue. As you're working towards that 2,000, right, to get to the higher one, you got to get to 100 personal residual revenue, because that's what the minimum requirement is for you to be able to get to the core rank of team trainer. All right. And also, if you're going to do this, team trainer is the first rank that really requires any structure. We just went through DAC 1, DAC 2, and DAC 4, how you get those ranks on your own without any team structure. But to get to team trainer, you have to have 3 legs in your business. What is a leg? A leg is a personally enrolled agent. So, for example, I sponsored Harlequin. So Harlequin is here on level 1 to me, and every one of you that are in Harlequin's team, y'all are 1 leg of my business, right? I have Carlene on here tonight. I personally enrolled Carlene. Carlene is another leg of my business. Pam Warnock is on here tonight. I personally enrolled Pam. Pam and her entire team is another leg of my business. So that's how legs work. Just 1 personally enrolled agent, and anything that happens under them, that's considered 1 leg of your organization. Okay. And to get to team trainer, you have to have group revenue between 3 legs or more. 3 is the minimum, but you can have 50, 100, 300 legs direct to you that are producing, and everything and every one of those legs will count as long as it does not exceed the 40% rule, right? So you need 250 or more group residual revenue with no more than 100 or 40% from any one leg. So let's look at those numbers. In this example, I'm showing you have one frontline agent that has 113 residual revenue, another one that has 60 residual revenue, and a third one that has 160. So with the 40% rule, we can count 100 from this first one. We can count all 60 from the second one, right? So we're at 160, and we can only count 100 of this 160. So now we're at 260 combined group residual revenue. So in this example, with you having 100 personal and 250 or more out of your team, then this would be qualified as a team trainer. Okay, so you may want to take a screenshot of that if you haven't already. So you got that visual. And then as your team is working towards getting clients, if they're building an organization as well, then your team is going to start growing and taking on a life of its own, because what are your personally enrolled agents going to do? We've got to create that culture within our organization to get to team trainer as quickly as you can. So that means you get started, you start getting yourself qualified with personal customers, and go find at least 3 people that want to build a business and start building teams and helping recruit customers as well, right? So then you've got 3 who get 3 who get 3, and so on and so on. And the numbers just get off the chart crazy when you start seeing that type of duplication within your organization. So talking about building a strong foundation and going to a tool, I'm going to go over to our Agent Resource Center. And Harlequin, is that showing now on the screen? It is? Okay, great. All right, so I'm on the Agent Resource Center, and when I opened up the page, I'm on the Getting Started tab. Okay, this is the short welcome video from David Rutz. If any of you are new and you have the welcome letter that has this image at the bottom of the email, but the video doesn't click, this is where that video is. So you can go to the Agent Resource Center through your back office, click on that link, and it opens up here, and you can watch that short Welcome to DAC overview by our company founder, right? Our business capital training, employee retention training, compensation training. But where I want to focus tonight is the building a strong foundation. This is a new document. Some of you may have heard that it was back there, but I want to talk about it tonight because this is, I used it today. I went through some of the key points of it, and it's really the core of building our business. This document was generated. Let me go ahead and open this up. This document was generated by Tyler, who is David's son. David and Tyler sat down doing a game plan strategy, explaining to Tyler really what he would need to do becoming a new agent with us and building out his business. So they went through the key areas to target, and then Tyler said, hey, can I put this into a document? And if it's something that you like, maybe we can post it in the Agent Resource Center. So that's how this document got started. Excuse me. But just want to go through this and remind you guys that we talk about warm market being the best way to find customers. Now, Arissa is an exception to the rule on doing social media, but she just got a funding client who is warm market, someone that she knew from 15 years ago, right? There's that trust relationship factor in that for that particular lady to reach out through that social media post. And many of us have that same kind of network where friends and people that really know you may see something on a social media post and reach back out to you. But in general, picking up the phone and having conversations with people is going to be the key to your success, getting that conversation started, right? But warm market friends, your friends are a trusted circle who can become your strongest allies. Informing them about your new business not only opens doors for potential referrals, but also introduces them to the agent opportunity. By engaging with friends who possess entrepreneurial aspirations, you can ignite interest in leading and expanding markets, creating a network of driven individuals who resonate with your vision. That's number one. Harlequin and I have been friends for years. She's one of the first people that I reached out to about DAC, right? When I started my DAC business, I started I didn't go out and just look for cold market people. I started making a list of who do I know that I'd like to be in business with. So I invited Harlequin. I didn't just go randomly make a post or run a cold market ad trying to find those first few people that got started in my business. Warm market business owners, who do you know within your warm market that already has a business? Keep them informed about our services such as ERC, funding, payment processing, etc. So I'm going to stop on these first two and tell you what I did today. Now, I'm sorry to say this, I am a week behind, or I feel like I'm a week behind in communicating about our new healthcare program, because if you were on my Zoom last Monday, y'all could tell I was getting hoarse. Well, by Tuesday, I could barely talk. I ended up with bronchitis and really didn't have my voice back until late yesterday or today. So I didn't want to be on the phone sounding horrible trying to talk to people, because most people didn't even realize it was me until I would tell them who it was on the phone. So I'm behind on reaching out to people that I know, but today I started some phone outreach to people, talking to them about our healthcare program. One that I can think of is I called a friend on her way home from work, and I tried to catch her during drive time, but she'd already made it home. Chit-chatted for a few minutes, and I said, hey, what are you guys doing for healthcare with your business? And she said, well, company provides. She said, it's okay, it's not great. I have yet to talk to a single person about healthcare that's super excited about the program that they currently have. Okay, so I had that conversation, and I said, I know I've talked to you before and asked that you try to get some information over to your company owner. I said, if he's not open to taking a look at this, would you do me a favor and possibly go in and do a one-on-one consultation on your own, so that you can do an apples to apples comparison with what we have to offer versus what your company is offering right now, rather than asking them to do that consultation? Maybe you could take on that role and really have a side-by-side comparison for them. And she said, oh yeah, I would do that. So that's one conversation I had. Another conversation I had, one market business owners, me and my limo business. I had a bus trip with clients over the weekend, and the friend of mine that owns the bus that I chartered out for my clients, I talked to him today about another trip coming up. And I said, hey, by the way, Eric, while we're on the phone, I said, what are you and your family doing for healthcare? And he said, well, my wife handles that, but we've got a plan right now that I'm not crazy about. That was the first thing out of his mouth. And I said, well, if you recall, I'm in business services with my other work from home business, and we've got a killer healthcare program. I've switched over to it. It's phenomenal coverage, ton of benefits, and it's far cheaper than most insurance plans out there. And he said, oh yeah, he said, I'm definitely interested, right? So that's conversation two with warm market business owners. And then where I just read about the ERC, I followed up with one of my ERC submissions just to catch up with that business owner today. And I said, hey, just wanted to touch base and see if you have started getting your checks in, right? This was a twofold conversation, if you think about it. One, seeing if he's getting his checks in to see how close we are to getting paid on that ERC, but genuinely wanting him to get his money back, right? So followed up on that, and then talked about payment processing. And I said, and before I hang up, I would be remiss if I didn't ask you what you guys are doing for healthcare. And he said, yeah, he said, well, we've got this plan and this plan. They're piecing together two different programs that are kind of low cost. And I said, I'm familiar with that. Well, Hip Nation is one of them. And I said, I'm familiar with that. And I've run across several people that are using that because they can't afford real insurance, and they're trying to piece together a budget-friendly solution. I said, I've got a better solution that's going to give you far better coverage, and probably at a comparable price to what you're already paying now, but you'll never find yourself caught with a gaping hole with your healthcare needs. Are you open to talking to our healthcare team? And he's like, yeah, absolutely. I'm interested in talking to him. So I went ahead and scheduled that call on my website. I went in because he's like, send me a link, or what are we doing, Ellen? And I said, tell you what, I'll fill out the form now, because remember, if you're not aware of this, every one of the services on the DAC website, with the exception of funding, all of our other services where it's setting up an appointment and connecting your client with the expert, you can go in and fill that form out for them. So I filled the form out while I had Jim on the phone. I confirmed the email address. It allowed me to add myself because he said, will you be on there? I said, I can be. So I added myself in the appointment. So I've already received the confirmation for the Zoom. And then after I got the email, I texted him immediately after receiving it and said, hey, just got the email. The subject line is DAC Healthcare consultation, I think, one-on-one consultation. So anyway, those are conversations that I had just this afternoon going through healthcare and who do I know, and you get the conversation started. It's the easiest conversation of anything that we've had to market with David Allen Capital outside of the PPP money. When we had that PPP and of course ERCs, but ERCs are for business owners, right, that had employees. So healthcare is even easier because healthcare applies to every individual on this planet, whether they work for somebody else or whether they're self-employed. We potentially have a solution to put them in a better healthcare program and save them money and prevent them from having high risk with some of the programs that are out there. The next one on the list is the professional CPAs, bank managers. This is where you can team up with these people and have great referral relationships going, local business owners, where you can consider adopting a dual role as a representative and a local patron. Okay, by immersing yourself in local businesses, you not only understand their offerings, but also position yourself as an advocate for community growth. I do that with my membership at the Chamber of Commerce because I'm an ambassador. So I'm in the middle of my local community in that role in itself. And then the other way is to become industry focused. I was talking with a new agent recently and they're like, well, what industries are best? And I said, well, what's your background? What kind of work have you done over the years? And we picked out a couple of niches that they're familiar with where they really know the language and know how that industry flows cash wise, et cetera. And it happened to be an industry that is one of our better performing industries for funding. So I said, if I were you, I would focus on the industry that you're familiar with and, you know, make connections there with people that you already know. So this list, this document is 4 pages, and it's just a place for you to sit and write down who do you know. Okay. So what I want to do right now is I want to just pause on this page. And you may not, you don't have to have this page printed out, but as I said earlier, hopefully you got a pen and paper in front of you. And I want you to take a moment and I want you to write down 5 people right now that came to mind as I was telling you my story of the reach out conversations that I had today. Okay. The other conversations that I've got are friends that I know work for local employers. Some of my limousine clients I know have businesses. The group that I took on Saturday that did the bus trip, he took 25 employees. So I know he's got at least 25 employees, if not more, that would be a good fit for the under 50 healthcare, right? So my list is just growing as to who I want to reach out to. Right now is open enrollment for companies that are on a traditional health insurance plan and offering that. It'll be coming up for open enrollment here the next couple of months, next 3 months. And it's perfect timing to get that conversation going. But again, I want you to write down 5 people that came to mind. And I would love for you to make the commitment that you're going to reach out to those 5 people and at least get the conversation started. You can reach out to those 5 people over the course of the next week, or you can reach out to all 5 of them tomorrow. But I assure you that once you get the conversation started and you're going to stumble over your words the first few times, you know, trying to get comfortable with what to say. But as you start having those conversations, you're going to be putting down the phone and you're going to go, man, that was pretty easy. Who else can I call? Because it really is that easy to get the conversation going about healthcare. Healthcare is overpriced. They need what we have to offer, and our team at Clearwater and our health share plan with DAC is going to put the client in the right product at the right price. I was looking at some of the price ranges for individuals that starts around $200 and can start as low as $600, I think, for a family. Maybe less than that. I shouldn't even quote that, but the numbers are just amazing. And then I pulled up healthcare.gov today, and I'm going to come off of the screen share. I pulled up healthcare.gov today just for kicks, and I put in, they've got a search tool where you can just put in your zip code, and without having to go in and put in all your information, it'll pull up all the plans that are available in your zip code. And I was looking at the cost for the plan itself, and then deductibles of $9,000 or so, where our plans either have a 1,000 max out of pocket, 2,500 max out of pocket, or 5,000 max out of pocket. That would be comparable to a deductible of 1,000, 2,500, or 5,000, right? But first thing I saw on healthcare.gov was $9,100 deductible, and that was with the bronze plan. The bronze plan is like a 60-40 plan, and then you go to silver and gold and platinum to go up in levels of what they cover. So people are paying way too much for way too little coverage for high priced doctor's visits as it is, and we've got a great solution to help them. David referenced today too that the RX plan on our website, it says it'll be launched by September the 15th, but you know, we heard today that it may go live during the month of August. So that'll be exciting if that's the case. But if you just go to the health share page on your website there at the bottom, let me pull that back up. If we go over to DAC Health Share, this lands directly on the health share savings, but if you wanted to share when we go live with the RX, you can just click on the wrong one. You can click on that logo. They changed that. Let me go to the home button on here. Here we go, home. That's the one I was looking for. If you go to home, that's the health share product line and doesn't land specifically on the unlimited RX or health share. You can click on that and add your ID number to the end of that link and be able to share the homepage if you wanted to do that. All right. The other thing I wanted to touch on real quick before we go to questions is the different services that we market that can help you quickly get through that personal residual revenue, right? If you're looking at what you have right now and you're needing at least 50 points this month to be considered a qualified agent, let's take a look at what we have to offer. Go back down to the home, to the footer of the page, and go back to, let's just go back over to the DAC site. Okay. Everything here, funding, pay advance, that is a bonus, and that one's going to be a 2-month down the road before you see the revenue. This one's not going to show up for 7 months when the client gets their refund back. So these first 4 products are going to show up when the client gets funding, right? Payment processing is 2 months out on that. So your immediate revenue is either a funded client or ID Protect. ID Protect goes live the day that someone purchases it, right? So 5 points for the ID Protect individual, 13 for the ID Protect individual plus plan that's $24.99 a month, 13 points for that or qualifying residual revenue. And you can look at the compensation chart to see that. But if you're in a push trying to get yourself over that next mark, this is the product that's going to get you real-time residual revenue that'll go active immediately. I know as we start getting into month ending and getting everybody to look at their numbers, this will be a product that you'll want to have as a go-to. So will that RX program. The residual on the health share is 40, and these two really are the two outside of funding that are going to give you quick residual revenue in that comp plan to help you move through to get qualified. Okay. All right, let me take it off screen share and 1 second before we go to questions. If you've got a question, you can go ahead and raise your hand. But guys, I talk about the compensation plan and I talk about the services and all of these things because this is a business, right? We're here to make money, and I'm here, and Harlequin is here, and other team leaders are here to help you succeed, right? And the only way all of us succeed is to get good at getting customers, because we do 3 things. We go get customers. Number 1, that's what generates revenue in the first place. And then we find other entrepreneurial minded people who want to go get customers, and we plug them into the system, then teach them to go get their own customers and go find other people that want to build a team. And then we duplicate that. So get customers, find agents who want to go get customers, and start building teams. And that's how your organization grows to where you'll have literally thousands or tens of thousands or hundreds of thousands of agents in your organization over time. And everyone just gets a few customers to get themselves qualified to be eligible to earn on the team. And then you'll be getting paid on thousands, tens of thousands, or hundreds of thousands of clients in your organization. But it has to start with 3, right? And then from there, you want to just keep searching until you find the folks that are looking for that entrepreneurial opportunity. So Harlequin, is there anything in the chat there? Any questions? Anybody got questions or comments? You can do the virtual hand raise under reactions there at the bottom. I see Jimmy. Jimmy, how are you doing tonight?
Oops. Can you hear me?
I can.
Okay. I have a comment and also have 2 questions. Is that okay?
Sure.
Okay. Let's start with a comment first. As when you mentioned, you went to the health care.gov, the ACA plans. Well, the comment I want to make is from personal experience. I know that some of those plans have, the monthly premium is pretty attractive. However, the catch is that if you need the specialized testing and the blood test, they practically don't cover. So all of it is out of pocket. I learned that the hard way, the very hard way. So that's just, that's why I'm very excited about the health share. I need to study a little bit more, but I think that's that's going to make a difference, because people who are on the ACA don't realize that when they go in and the doctor orders this test or that test, there's a very good chance that the most, if not all of it, that's going to have to be out of pocket. It's not covered by the ACA plans.
That's true. And that goes towards your deductible, and it doesn't pay until you've met your deductible, right? Good comment.
Yeah. Okay. The next question I have also is related to health share. Let's say that I talked to Mr. Business owner. He has 10 employees. He likes what we have to offer in health share. We roll it out to his employees. And let's say a few years down the road, one of his employees leave the company. Maybe I'm thinking because I'm familiar with the way traditional employee benefits go. Is the health share plan portable? So if they leave their business, they can take it with them, or do they have to find something else on their own?
Yeah, no, that's a great question. So I know it's portable, right? Because as it is right now, that group of up to 50 employees, the employer can offer that plan, and the employer can pay all, none, or some of the monthly membership cost on that, right?
Correct.
So in a lot of cases, you're going to find that an employer may say, hey, you guys just sign up on your own, and I'm going to contribute X amount of money in your paycheck each month to cover towards the plan of your choosing. If the employee is signed up on their own, they can go to 5 different employers over the next year and still keep that same plan, right? The only problem would be if the employer is paying for it and they wanted to leave, I'm sure all they would need to do is reach out to the Clearwater benefits team and say, hey, I'm leaving this employment, but I want to keep my plan. I need to switch it over to my personal ACH or personal credit card to pay for that plan. Now
And
that's with the health share, because that's not traditional insurance. When you get into the major medical, which is an insurance plan that they mentioned that, you know, if you've got a group over 50 employees, they may have to put them on that, but still you're going to have employees that could qualify for the health share. You know, the major medical is going to fall into the insurance ruling and requirements, and may or may not be portable. And I don't know the answer to that on that one, but the health share is definitely a portable program because it's built for individuals, entrepreneurs, 1099 workers, but good for W-2 workers as well.
okay, so if they leave their employer, their rate would still be the same.
Correct. Their rate is based on their age bracket and which plan they have and whether they're a smoker or not.
Okay, all right. Last question. This goes, I think it was a few weeks or so back on one of the bank basic trainings with the Wade Cordell. I don't know if I misunderstood the Wade or not. Did he say that we no longer do financing for the truck drivers and trucking companies, or did I misunderstand him?
Yeah, no, trucking is a very challenged industry right now. It's very high risk. We can do funding for trucking, but it's not going to be your typical 100 to 200% of their revenue. It's more probably on the 75% of their revenue, especially if they're a one truck operator, one man operator, one man or one woman operator, and don't have multiple vehicles. So the smaller the company, one truck makes them higher risk, but we still can fund them. There's no lines of credit at all for the trucking industry right now because of it being such a high risk. And you may have heard him talk about equipment financing. We don't do equipment financing on trucking either. David tagged it the other day. He said, if it requires a title, then we can't do equipment financing on that type of vehicle. But farm equipment, tractors, those type things that don't have an over-the-road title or a tag for over-the-road transportation, we can do equipment financing on those type vehicles.
Okay, so if a truck driver wants to purchase a new truck, we cannot provide the financing.
We would not be the best fit for that. They would be better off if they could get bank financing or through the dealership that they're buying that vehicle, because the vehicle would be collateral and they would be able to get a better rate than what we would be able to offer them on our revenue-based lending. Of course, if they've got horrible credit and we're the only option, then maybe we could help them with the down payment, because if they needed a bigger chunk to get financed through the dealership, then we may be able to help them get that quick cash to do the down payment so they could get the traditional financing.
Okay, and are we still doing financing, equipment financing for restaurants?
We can, yes.
Okay.
Yeah, the equipment financing is still there, but again, it's limited when you're talking about transportation and vehicles.
Okay, all right, thank you.
Yeah, you bet. And one other thing on that, thank you for your questions, Jimmy. A reminder for equipment financing, that equipment has to be purchased through a new or used dealer. It can't be somebody making a purchase off of Craigslist or their next door neighbor has equipment for sale. It's got to be sold through a dealer. Okay, good questions. All right, any other questions tonight? You guys are quiet. We got a good group on here.
Hey, Ellen,
Mm-hmm.
trying to think. There was somebody asking about getting together with a group of people in the Bay Area in California. If there happens to be anybody on here tonight that is in that area, if they can go ahead and just send a message directly to me and I will put people together. And then the other thing that I was going to make a couple of comments on Arissa. The one thing, while she does a lot of her stuff on social media, the thing I want to point out is she just doesn't rely on social media. She goes and she calls each of those 200 people that respond to her text message. So that's one of the big differences, is her contacting those people and having conversations with them, finding out about their business, finding out what they do, what their revenue is, what they're looking for, and that type of stuff. The other thing, well, actually, Jesse's hand is up if you want to call on Jesse.
Okay, Jesse. Hey, what you got tonight, Jesse? Can you unmute? There you
Oh,
are.
hey, can you hear me? Yeah, no,
Okay.
I was gonna just ask Arisha, what I guess her preferred social media platform is that she's using for like her marketing, social marketing.
Whether it's Facebook,
Yeah, like
X,
Instagram, TikTok,
Instagram.
whatever.
Yes, so I use Facebook has always been my best friend. So all of my businesses, I do get more traction from Facebook, but I do go ahead and utilize all platforms. So I do utilize Instagram as well, TikTok, LinkedIn, things like that. But Facebook has always been what works best for me.
Okay,
Awesome.
cool. All right, thank you.
Great question. And thanks for your response on that. All right. Anybody else? Questions, comments? You know,
Ellen,
anytime I'm asking.
I have one other thing. I just happened to see Jesse's hand up. One thing I would suggest that everybody does, if you haven't done so recently, like in the last week, log into your back office and double check and see if you happen to have any money sitting there. Because I know when the residuals were paid out this past week, David went, and even if you had not had any fundings, no points, no nothing, if you had somebody that you personally sponsored and they got some points in January, February, or March, you still got an enroller bonus. So you may have money that you're not aware of. And if you don't have your Relevate account set up, they can't send it there, but emails were not sent out on that. So it will be in the upper right corner. It'll show a dollar amount in there. So you never know, you might have a little bit of money sitting there.
Now that's logging into your Relevate back office or your
No,
DAC.
if you can log into the Georgia Girl account, we can show people where that is.
I'm gonna post a link here. Somebody asked, could we share the website for recruiting? And I'm putting that in. It says davidallencapital.com/partner/your ID number. Make sure you add that to the end. But yeah, let me get that site up, Harlequin, and then I'll screen share. Give me 1 second.
Okay. And if you don't know how to find the back office, go to davidallencapital.com, and at the very bottom right, it's going to be there's going to be a place for the agent login.
Okay, I'm logged in.
So I know we've got some new people on here.
There we go.
Okay, so see in the top right, in that
Right
blue
here,
section, it has commissions. And you can also go and under your business, you can, if you tap on any of those, the group revenue or whatever, it will take you to the business page and your monthly volume reports. And it will show you where that money came from.
And for those of you that don't know, this is a demo account that I set up a long time ago to use for training purposes. So that's why there's no volume in here. This is not my real back office. But that monthly volume report, all of these, if you had residual revenue on personal customers or group, you'd be able to go in here and click on those numbers. Then it'll open up and show you who the customer is, or if it's the group, it'll show you which leg of your business, that personally enrolled agent. And then it'll be another clickable link that opens up to show you who in their team got clients and how much revenue is there. Yeah. Go back to the dashboard. The other thing on that, Harlequin, when I said I was getting you to clarify, was it in this dashboard or the Relevate? If you have not set up your Relevate card to notify you when you get a deposit, then I encourage you to do that, because I don't even look at the commissions there. And I really didn't realize that, Harlequin. So thanks for pointing that out, because I know that commissions have hit because my text messages on my phone start ping, ping, ping when the deposit run has hit, because I'm getting text notifications of live activity, money going into my Relevate account. So that's the best way to do that. And when you're into Relevate, in the top right corner, once you're logged in, there's a little profile button. You can click on profile and then just navigate through and set those alerts up. Okay. Anything else you want to see in the back office while we're there?
No, the only other comment I was going to make in regards to the commissions is if you have gotten a funding in the last, since January 1st, each of those fundings has points associated with it, and you got anywhere from a 20 to 50% match on those points. So there were several people on my team who have had fundings in the last few months that didn't realize that they were getting additional money on those fundings. So that was a very nice surprise for several of them. Whenever I called them up, I was like, hey, did you know that you've got money in your bank account? And they were very appreciative of that. But yeah, that's something new that we didn't have before, because whenever, when we were still with Longevity, you didn't get paid additional money on your fundings, on the volume that was generated from your fundings, but now we do. So that can be, it's not a ton of money, but it adds up.
Well, get this. Thank you for mentioning that. One of my personally enrolled agents who just got a big ERC commission last week, I was checking in with her today because she had her client. He had gotten all of his checks and he hadn't gotten his invoice yet. In fact, David talked about this on the Zoom the other day. So we just communicated and they sent the invoice over. He's paying it tomorrow. And I asked, did he get the invoice? He said, yep, I got it. He's going to pay it. Does that mean I'll get paid the next day? And I went through the pay cycle with her. And she said, well, I got $40 Friday. And she said, maybe I'll get the rest of it. So she was thinking that she got a $40 advance, but what that $40 was her 50% match on the 200 residual revenue from that ERC. And get this, that 200 is going to carry over for 17 months in a row on that one client. So for 17 months, she'll be making an extra $40 a month just off of that one ERC client. So in addition to the 4% that she receives, she'll get an extra $700 over time on the residual basis of that.
Actually, the 40 is the 20% match on the 200. She could get up to
oh yeah. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
Right. 20 is the 20%, which is the minimum match that you get on your personal clients.
right.
Thank you for the quick math.
Yeah, so she could actually get up to $100 extra per month.
Yep. And to do that, she would need to have personal residual revenue of 1,000, 1,500, hit to 2,000 level on that. Yep, exactly. All right. Anything else before we wrap up, guys? We appreciate your attention tonight. Appreciate you all showing up and being here to congratulate our new DAC 4, Arissa. Great job there with testimonials, and just love seeing and hearing stories from the team. Appreciate you all. We will see you Wednesday. Next is we have Wade's training and Wednesday at 11:30 a.m. Those have just been really powerful. He's keeping them real short, other than the Q&A that may drag it out a little bit at the end, and then Friday. But now's go time. Be working on those customers, and please make a commitment to contact those 5 people that you wrote down, because next week I would love for you guys to be able to share what happened when you started having some of those conversations, and let's plan on bringing some of those conversations to the table next Monday. Okay. All right, everybody, take care. We'll see you soon.
Thank you very much, Ellen. Thank you. Have a good night.
Good night,
You as well.
everyone.
Good-
Thank you
good
so
to hear you
much.
guys. Awesome. You're so welcome. We'll see you in the next Zoom. Have a good one.